All right, anime Mount Rushmore. That's what we're going to be talking about today. And just for the sake of the video, I'm going to try not to use the characters in the thumbnail. So Goku, Naruto, Ichigo, and Luffy. I'm going to try to pick characters that are not them. So, and I'm gonna give each spot. So there's gonna be 4 spots for this Mount Rushmore. I'm gonna try to give each spot to one character from every era of anime. So 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and 2020s. And then maybe in some later videos, I'll do a Mount Rushmore from the 90s. So I'll pick 4 characters from the 90s. And then maybe for another video, I'll do from the 2000s. And then for another video, the 2010s. And then another video, the 2020s. So it's going to be videos like that. But for this one, I'm going to try to do one character from each era. And I'm going to try to make it not the characters in the thumbnail. So I can't pick Goku, I can't pick Naruto, I can't pick Ichigo, and I can't pick Luffy. So we're gonna start with the 90s. Um, so this one is tough. Every era is gonna be tough, but the 90s specifically is gonna be tough for me because the 90s just have so many goats. I mean, the 90s started it all. The 90s pioneered most of these anime that are out today. Like if you compare characters or like just do side by sides, personality, designs, character abilities. If you just do side by sides, most characters today or the most characters that came after the 90s are inspired by at least 1 or 2 characters from the 90s. I mean, if you just look at Asta from Black Clover, he's clearly Naruto, and he's clearly a mix of Naruto and Natsu from Fairy Tail. So you're gonna have a lot of characters like that. But let's just pick from the 90s. So characters we got from the 90s, or we'll just do it by shows. You got Yu Hakusho, you got Sailor Moon. Obviously, we got Dragon Ball Z, and like I said, I'm not going to use Goku. We have Pokemon, we got Gundam, we got Rurouni Kenshin, we got Cowboy Bebop, and we got other shows. Rama One Half. I'm forgetting a lot of shows right now. There's a bunch of shows from the 90s that you could pick from, but I think after looking over all those characters, I'm probably just going to end up going with Yusuke Urameshi from Yu Yu Hakusho because out of all those shows, Yusuke Urameshi is probably the most impactful. I mean, you could make an argument for Sailor Moon. You could make an argument for Ash Ketchum from Pokemon. Everybody grew up watching Ash. Like if you were born in the 90s and you grew up watching cartoons in the 90s and early 2000s, you were probably watching Pokemon, whether if you knew it was an anime or not. Even if you thought it was just a cartoon, you were probably watching Pokemon. The same goes for Digimon. Even though I forgot that main character's name, because I mean, most people I knew, we only cared about the Digimon. We didn't care about the little kids. But yeah, if you're gonna pick a character from that era, you can't go wrong with Ash Ketchum. You can't even go wrong with Pikachu. Like if you wanted to pick Pikachu, you could pick Pikachu. You could put Pikachu on the Mount Rushmore, and I don't think anybody will be mad at you. But for me, I'm just gonna go ahead and pick Yusuke Urameshi and keep it moving. Because if I was to sit here and run through every anime from the 90s that I watched, this video would be way too long. So I'm not gonna do that. Yusuke Urameshi is gonna be pick number one from the 90s. He's gonna be on the Mount Rushmore from the 90s. Now let's move to the 2000s. The 2000s is where it gets tough for me because this is the era that I grew up watching the most anime. I was born in 95, so watching anime in the 2000s, that was kind of peak for me. That was kind of peak for me. I mean, you got shows like Naruto, Bleach, Fairy Tail, Soul Eater, Full Metal Alchemist, Brotherhood, One Piece, Inuyasha, Ghost in the Shell, Death Note, Code Geass. I mean, this list could go on forever. I could sit here just naming anime forever. But like I said, if we're not picking the characters that are already on the thumbnail, um, I mean, you can't go wrong with L from Death Note. or Light from Death Note. You can't go wrong with Lelouch from Code Geass. You can't go wrong with Suna, or oh, not Suna, Natsu from Fairy Tail. You can't go wrong with Inuyasha from Inuyasha. I mean, you got hella picks. You got hella picks. And then there are little shows like Samurai Champloo and Fooly Cooly that didn't go too long, but a lot of people still like those anime. But for me, if I had to pick a character, or like a just a GOAT character from the 2000s that's not Naruto, Ichigo, or Luffy, I'm gonna have to go with Edward Elric from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I'm gonna have to go with Edward Elric because that anime. I mean, if it wasn't already on the Mount Rushmore, it probably should be. It's a goated show. It's a goated show from an era of probably the hardest competition. Probably the hardest competition. I mean, the 2000s had some heat. The 90s walked, but 2000s ran. I mean, they were just dropping hit after hit, banger after banger. But yeah, I'm probably gonna go with Edward Elric from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. That's my pick from the 2000s. So who we got so far? We got Yusuke Urameshi from the 90s, and we got Edward Elric from the 2000s. Um, let's go 2010s. If we talking 2010s, I mean 2010s got some hits too. You got Attack on Titan, you got JoJo, and I know JoJo came out earlier, but we're going with the remake. Um, so you got Demon Slayer, you got Sword Art Online, you got Seven Deadly Sins, you got One Punch Man. Black Clover is a really good one. I know a lot of people are gonna like Asta from Black Clover. You got Doctor Stone, you got Haikyuu, you got Fate, you got Vinland Saga, you got Shield Hero. Even though Shield Hero, so the thing about Shield Hero, I actually didn't even like Shield Hero when I first started watching it because I thought his character was just too much of a pushover. And then when as the show progressed, he went from being a pushover to just being straight up just just rude, just awful. He was just an awful person. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like I know these people were dicks to you, but you don't have to treat everybody else like a dick just because you were treated like a dick. I guess bro just didn't want to take the high road. And I mean, to add insult to injury, he couldn't even attack because the shield hero just couldn't attack. I mean, at first, obviously, he learns to attack later. But now I'm ranting. Um, what else is from the 2010s, the 2010s? Let me see. I said Blue Exorcist. Did I say Blue Exorcist? I didn't say Blue Exorcist. And you got shows like Fire Force. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Deku though. I'm gonna go Deku. I'm gonna go My Hero Academia. My Hero Academia for the 2010s is arguably that era's like Naruto or that era's Dragon Ball. I think My Hero Academia is probably gonna end up being the GOAT of that era. I mean that era, like I said, they got Demon Slayer and they got Black Clover, they got Doctor Stone, they got Attack on Titan, they got JoJo. All those shows got huge fan bases, huge fan bases. But I'm gonna go My Hero. I think My Hero is probably the goated show from that era, the 2010s. Deku is probably going to end up being, like I said, that era's Naruto, that era's Goku, that era's Ichigo. They're probably going to end up being that era in that era's big three if they aren't already. I mean, I'm pretty sure My Hero Academia, I mean, it should be a new age big three, but I mean, we'll see. We'll see. It has to be determined. But the pick, the pick for that era is definitely Deku. It's Deku. It's Deku. I mean, the other shows, I'm not gonna say it's a landslide. It's definitely close. Like you could pick Asta from Black Clover. You could pick Tanjiro from Demon Slayer. You could pick Eren Yeager from Attack on Titan. You could pick any of the JoJo characters, any of the JoJo main characters, and nobody would be mad at you. I think it's Deku. I think it's Deku from the 2010s. So far, we got Yusuke Urameshi from the 90s. We got Edward Elric from the 2000s, and we got Deku from the 2010s. The 2020s. The 2020s is gonna be tough. 2020s is gonna be tough. 2020s, they got some bangers. I'm a huge fan. I'm probably No, I'm not a bigger fan of the 2020s than I am the 2010s. But the 2020s, they got some hits. They got Chainsaw Man. I don't really like Chainsaw Man like that, but I know it's a popular anime and a lot of people like it. So I'll just throw it on the list. Even though I don't think Denji deserves anything. That character pisses me off so much, so much, so much. Let me see. Tokyo Revengers. You got Don Don. Don Don just recently came out. And it's already a hit. I think they're confirmed for season two. Um, Don Don is really good. I recommend it. You have Solo Level. That character. Oh man, so that character might deserve the Mount Rushmore placement. I don't know though. How many? They only have two seasons. Solo Leveling has to develop. I know that the story is continuing, so as the story develops, I'm pretty sure the character will get better. I mean, he's pretty much already unstoppable. I mean, who in that universe can hold a candle to him? Maybe there's someone. I don't know. I'm not a manga reader, so maybe the manga readers know something that I don't. If they're like further ahead, but I'm only an anime watcher, so I know what I've seen, and what I've seen is nobody in that show could hold a candle to him. But as far as Mount Rushmores go, I don't think he's there yet for 2020s, and he's got huge competition. Um, because you got shows like Spy X Family where that character, I forget the character, your that character was super popular, super popular. The little girl was popular. Um, you got shows like Blue Lock, which if Blue Lock develops, it could probably become, or it could rival Kuroko no Basket as one of the best sports anime of all time. But that show has to develop. It has to finish. I'm curious to see where it goes. And then you got shows like Hell's Paradise, where they got one season done. They're it's a pretty good show. It's a pretty good show. It's not quite on the level as those other shows I just mentioned, but I think it can get there. I think it can develop. We just have to see. Let me see. The same with Kaiju number eight. Kaiju number eight has a lot of potential. It's really good. It's really good. I was watching it. I'm very impressed by what they have so far, and I'm actually curious to see what they got. I did read ahead a little bit in the manga, but I kind of want to see it animated, so I had to force myself to stop because if I would have kept going, I probably would have just got too far, and it wouldn't even been worth watching the anime. And then you got that Mashle show, which is basically anime Harry Potter. But let me see from the 2020s. I'm gonna say the goat of the 2020s character wise is probably gonna be Gojo from JJK. I wanted to originally say Sakuna, but I think Gojo is just slightly more popular than Sakuna. Um, Sakuna, I don't know how to say his name. I'm not Japanese, but I'm gonna say Sakuna. Yeah, I think Gojo is probably slightly more popular, and he's probably going to end up being the GOAT of the 2020s. I mean, it is just 2025 at the time of recording this video, so there could be an anime that comes out in 26, 27, 28 that just blows Gojo out the water. Who knows? That's the thing about this era, which is why it was so hard to judge. It's not done yet. Like those other eras, the 90s is done. We can judge it. The 2000s is done. The 2010s are done. We can judge those anime because they already came out. The decade is over, but the 2020s still has 5 more years of potential. So I'll say so far, Gojo is probably the goat of this era, character wise. Character wise. So what were my picks? I think I said Yusuke Urameshi from the 90s, um, Edward Elric from the 2000s, and Deku from the 2010s, and from the 2020s, Gojo. Yeah, so that's my Mount Rushmore for this. If we're not going with the characters on the thumbnail, that's my Mount Rushmore. But I want to know your Mount Rushmore. Comment below your Mount Rushmore, your anime characters. I'm curious to hear what other people have to say. Oh, and hit the like button and subscribe. It helps the algorithm. I want to continue to grow this channel and push these types of videos out, and that will really help me. All right, but see ya. Peace.